Hey, this is Daniel Norton. I'm here in my studio in New York City with Paulina.
Hi.
And today I want to talk a little bit about kind of lens choice for your background. Partially because if you watch enough of my videos, you know I'm kind of a wide-ish lens / normal lens guy. But there's times when you want to use longer lenses for different reasons. And one reason is the compression that it causes on your background. So if you're going to shoot, let's say like a kind of a fashion shot, which we're going to do today, and you're using the smaller background paper, the 53-inch background paper versus the 9-foot, which oftentimes we're doing these days because you can use lots of different colors and it's kind of fun to mix it up. It works in smaller spaces. You have to really think about your lens choice. So I'm going to go through and show you kind of a normal / wide lens and then kind of a longer lens, and I'll show you what a difference that makes. So you'll jump on your spot, please. So I've got the Fuji GFX 50R here, and I have the 45mm lens on it, which is kind of like the wide normal. And if I'm going to frame up the shot, because they're basically like shorts combo outfit, you know, from just below the end of the outfit to the top of her head. And if I do that with this camera, like this, just looking through the back. Yeah, and we don't want to lose our fingers, so I'll do that. We'll frame this guy up, and I'm gonna take a peek. So I'm gonna turn my flashes on. I've got, just for lighting, guys, I've got Profoto B1X here in a 3-foot Octa, which is kind of good for this. Kind of off to the side, but centered to give even light on her. And then I've just got another B1X in the back, just blasting the background. I am using a flag to keep the light from hitting her in the arm. I want to create that kind of like dark shape around her. So let's take a shot and see what it looks like. Good, good, good. We're shooting at about 5.6.5 f8-ish. And we can see, all right, we're a smidge dark. So I'm gonna actually give myself a little more light. I'm gonna go to 5.6. There we go. So now we can see clearly that, you know, we've got her in the shot, but you can see all of this stuff in the background. Now, granted, if you're going to cut it out, I guess you could just cut her out still, but you're really working with limited space here. So just by changing the lens, right, now, of course, when I change the lens, if I stay in this position, I'll only have her head in the shot, so I'm going to have to back up. So it's really the backing up that's making the difference. When you back up, you compress your space, right? So we're backing up. We're going to compress the space on her, and then I'm going to switch lenses here. I'm going to switch to the 110, which is kind of like it's not really a super long lens on medium format. It's kind of like longer than normal, but shorter than, you know, like full-on telephoto, you know. I think it's around a 85-ish equivalent, roughly. Don't quote me on that, even though I just said it on video. It's roughly there. All right, so I'm going to fire this guy up, and we're going to get a similar framing like this. So again, I'm kind of just framing it up on just like that. And we can see that, you know, I gotta move over a little bit, but we can see that we have so much more background behind her. Like if you compare this to this, you can see how much more space she has on either side of her, you know. And that's that. You know, the difference on her body and stuff is not huge at this point because it's not a super long lens versus a super short lens, but obviously that makes a difference too, the compression. But let's shoot a few like this because this is how I would do it. And we'll get some shots. So I like to be on a tripod here, guys, so I can keep it kind of balanced. And then we're just gonna work her like this. Just like that, nice and pretty. Right, and nobody would know that we didn't have, oh, I got my light in the shot a little bit. Nobody would know that we didn't have a huge studio full of 9-foot backdrops. Good, good, good. It's better. Yeah, there we go. Good. Pretty, pretty. Good. Good, like that. Just like that. Easy as that, guys. We see all the detail, you know. And remember, though, of course, the background is still only 4.5 feet wide, so if she was to stick her arms out, she'll still come off of it. But with this situation, we have just more room to move. So if you're going to do any arms out or whatever, we can do like kind of, yeah, like a little bit kind of to the side, maybe a little more like this. And just the shoulders this way. There we go. Yes, you can still do that, guys. You just got to watch your edges. And we can do that nice and simply, just like that. Nice and clean, compresses the background, really easy. Let's see, checking my focus. We've got big 50 megapixel files, so my computer's like, what are you doing to me? But yeah, so compression, right? You use it for a lot of different things. I did a video before, if you guys want to check back at that one, where we used the same lens and I just backed up and then we cropped to show you how it changes the face. It's not really the lens. But if you actually want to get the same framing and not like waste pixels, you do need to use longer lenses to achieve that. So narrow background, it could be that you're using a small roll of paper like this, or maybe you just want to put the person in front of a doorway or whatever. You know, anything you want to put them in front of will become more narrow when you use a longer lens and you back up. So I will put Paulina's stuff in the description so you guys can follow her. Follow me, Daniel Norton Photographer. Be sure to subscribe to Adorama TV, and I'll see you next time on set.